This segment of the Indigenous Languages Series was filmed in the Canadian Museum for Human Rights, situated on ancestral land on Treaty 1 territory. Muswagon is a member of the Pimicikamak Cree Nation, also known as Cross Lake in Northern Manitoba. Lisa is an Akoida Cree. Lisa grew up in Northern Manitoba, the Interlake and Winnipeg. Her father attended the residential school at Guy Hill, and her mother attended day school at Cross Lake. An intergenerational survivor, Lisa also attended day school at Jack River School and experienced the residential school system's effects. She is on the path of breaking cycles such as learning to speak Cree to pass on to the children and grandchildren. Isabel Scribe is a member of the Pimicikamak Cree Nation, also known as Cross Lake in Northern Manitoba. Her homeland is Pimicikamak, and she is a fluent speaker in the Swampy Cree language. Isabel and her husband Charles raise their kids in ceremonies and with traditions. She provides culturally responsive counseling, therapy, and Indigenous ceremonies and empowerment through storytelling, workshops, sharing circles, and much more.
Danse Indutemek Indutemak. Hello relatives, my name is Lisa Muswagon, and I am from the Pimicikamak Cree Nation, also known as Cross Lake, which is located in Northern Manitoba. And I would like to introduce my mother, Isabel Scribe. She is a fluent speaker in our Swampy Cree language, and today we are here to teach you a couple of words in our language. The words that we want to teach you are basic greetings. So if I were to see you on the street and you see us on the street, we would like you to come and use these words. You can also use them in any other place that you go to gathering. If you want to speak some Cree and you want to say hello and whatever, well, we have the basic words for you here. Mom, when I started and introduced myself, did I say that correctly? I said Danise Indutemak. That meant hello relatives.
My name is Isabel Scribe. I'm a traditional elder in my community of Winnipeg and Cross Lake, Pimicikamak Cree Nation. I'm also a counselor, a therapist, psychotherapist. So I'm here today to learn about the language, the Cree language, along with my daughter Lisa. And here today we're gonna talk about introducing ourselves. Like the first language we always greet our people is Tansi, my relatives, my relations, Everything on earth is a relation to the nature, so you greet everybody and every individual on earth. So that's very important to greet everybody like that in our language, you know. So tansi is a good word.
So the first word that we're gonna say, and we want you to say with us, is dance. So when I count to 3, say it with us. 1. So I'm gonna say dance. I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna say dance, and then you're gonna say it right after me. Okay? So 1, 2, 3. Dance.
Tansi.
There, very
Dance.
good. Dance. So
Hello.
if I see my mom and I see her somewhere and I'm like, dance. Yeah, so that's hello. That's the first word that we're gonna learn. And so it's a very, very important greeting. I wanted to share a little bit about, I guess, the background of our language. The Cree language actually comes in different forms. There's Woodlands Cree, there's Swampy Cree, there's Plains Cree, but also too, there was a period in our time where the Indigenous people went through the residential school. And so during the residential school, it was said that you weren't allowed to speak your language. The government put in this process that wanted to assimilate us into the rest of Canada by not allowing us to speak our language. And so there were some people that still held on to our mother tongue, and they came out of the residential school with language. However, like for example, my mother, she's a very fluent speaker. My father, he speaks Cree, but he also wanted us to learn English and felt that it was very important for us to learn English, that we wouldn't have the struggles that he faced when he was growing up. So he didn't want that for us. And that goes with a lot of probably people in my generation. And so a lot of us are taking the opportunity to break those cycles and to learn our language. So we're very fortunate to have someone in our family who speaks the language, because for somebody like me who wants to learn, I can understand my mother when she speaks, but for me, I don't have the tongue, so I'm in the process of learning with my mother. And so I thought it would be a great idea if we could all learn together with my mother. Yeah. So like we said, dance was the first word that we wanted to learn. If I said to my mom, dance, she would reply,
Monanto.
she said, monantao, which means,
I'm okay.
or I'm fine.
Monanto.
So I would say, dance, and she would say,
Monanto.
Yeah.
Monanto.
so let's try that together with my mother. 1, 2, 3.
Monanto. Monanto.
Now we'll try.
Monanto.
Good job. Okay, so that was the second greeting that we're learning. And another one that we could learn is, now mind you, there are other ways to say how you feel and whatnot, but of course it's a little bit complicated, but right now we're learning the basics. So monantao is basic, and that's I'm fine and I am okay.
One of the precious languages in the Cree language is thank you. It's a very very honorable word for everybody to use in a public or people you meet, any tribe or anybody that wants to learn the language can use that word thank you. Wherever we go, we say thank you to everybody and everything. So it's a very special word, and tansi means it's a good word too. And how are you? Tansi Mainagina is those words that are very important in our language when we greet somebody or somebody new, or welcoming people in our clanship and all that stuff. So those are very important important language to learn to greet somebody in a special way.
Yeah, because originally, like a long time ago, we wouldn't say hello or we wouldn't say goodbye, right? So English hello, English goodbye is the closest way to define dance and see you later. We'll get to thank you in a second. But my mother is sharing how important and beautiful the Cree language is, and that I'm pretty sure it's similar in all other language, how English words can't really describe the meaning of your language words, right? So we try to use the closest English words to match up what we're trying to say. So in the Cree language, I remember hearing that it was a very beautiful language. It was one of the most beautifulest languages in the world because of the dialect, because of the tongue, and also it's one of the largest languages that you'll see here in Canada. And so we're so excited to teach you these words, and we feel that they are very important to help you learn about our culture, learn about our language, and learn about the Cree background. So like in your language, I'm pretty sure hello and goodbye are said differently than what is really meant for the English language. Does that make any sense? But yeah.
One of the important things about language is it comes from your heart, your soul, and your soul understands you and understands what you're saying. But in a white man language as we speak it today, it's our second language, and to me, my language is very important because I speak from my true self. But when I use the white man language, it's kind of non-indigenous language. It's a little different. It's not meaningful as my language would be, sincerely. So that's how there's a difference between that. So everybody that knows their language, you're lucky to have a language like that because it's most precious gift that you have in yourself is your language.
And I feel super honored that I can, you know, that you all can witness me learning my language with my mother here today. And that's a very special gift considering our past history of Indigenous people in this country. So now going back to our word thank you, in our Cree language, it would be a meaningful goodbye. There's always we'll see you again, right? Okay. There's never like we won't not see you again, right? We never say goodbye in our language, but it means like, okay, farewell, we'll see you again. I don't know, goodbye kind of sounds so harsh.
Okay, goodbye could mean the one that's leaving the world, you know, that's a real goodbye, but we never say goodbye to anybody in our language. You say, well, see you later then, you know. That's meaningful word for somebody to come back and see you again. So goodbye is not a good word for us.
So when we say we'll see you again, we'll see you again, how we say that word is
Kawap mitnan ki tom. We'll see you again.
It's a little bit harder. Kawap mitnan ki tom.
Kawap mitnan ki tom.
Kawap mitnan ki tom. Okay, let's try that again. Kawap mitnan ki tom.
We'll see you again.
And then we have a second farewell greeting, which is like goodbye, and that is Egusane.
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 Thank you.
So if you want to say it simpler, then it's Egusane.
Egusane.
So that's another form of saying goodbye, or like I said, goodbye kind of sounds harsh because in our language, it's a softer greeting of parting ways. That's the way to say it. Yeah,
those are the good words that we're learning today. And I hope you can share them with your families and all the ones that you want to learn about Cree.
So let's go over what we went over today. Again, we'll do a quick recap of what we learned. So the first word that we learned was, what was it? Dance.
Dance.
Yeah. So we're gonna go over the dialogue of what we learned today, and pardon us, we're just learning. So this is the process of learning how to speak Cree. So I'll start by saying dance.
Dance.
Ginamaga.
Monanto.
Oh, ekusane.
Yeah.
We're going to recap the words that we learned today. The first word that we learned today was
Dance. Dance.
dance. Now let's say it at home. 1, 2, 3.
Dance.
Good job. So the second word that we learned today was monantao. Monantao. Say it with us at home.
Okay. Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Monantao.
Monanto.
Good job. So the third word that we learned today was ginamaga, which means,
How are you?
let's try it at home. 1, 2, 3. Ginamaga.
How are you?
Good job.
Mhm.
So the fourth word that we learned was, it was a little bit harder, so let's try that again. Gitom gewapamatinan. Did I say that right?
Ki tom kawapemitinan means we'll see you again.
So let's try
Yeah.
that together. 1, 2, 3.
Ki tom kawapemitinan. Ki tom kawapamitinan. Ki tom kawapamitinan. We'll see you again.
And then our final word, which is so appropriate as we're closing up for this wonderful opportunity to come into your living rooms and teach you Cree, is we're saying egosane. So we'll say that together with us. 1, 2, 3. Egosane.
Egosane.
Which means thank you.
Thank you.
So with that being said, we wanted to give you a big thank you for having us, inviting us into your living room and teaching you Cree. We hope you enjoyed it, and we can't wait to teach you some more.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you.